Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, here for episode 6 of GMG Friday, the show, where we talk about 3 topics every week with no edits, just a conversation. We have a hot take topic, an on the fence topic, and something that impressed me this week in the world of sports. We'll start with soccer, and this might be a hot take, and maybe it's not. Some of you may call me a casual or a fair weather fan or a fake fan even, but with the Euros on and Copa America on, I have just got this overwhelming sense that we have too much soccer. There's too many leagues. There's too much division. There's too many players going from the MLS to their country to play for the Euros, to play for the Copa Americas. I don't get it. All right, I don't understand the draw of all these players playing for multiple leagues at multiple times and having them overlap. You know, you get the Champions League that butts up against the Premier League, and you get players leaving their teams for the Premier League to go play in the Champions League, and it's just, I don't understand it, and I'm sick of it. I can't keep it all straight, and maybe if I spent a little more time and a little more effort, I could, but we have too much soccer, and I don't have a solution for it right now. And if you guys need me to come up with one, by golly, I will do my very best. But I think right now, looking at the world of soccer, we have too much in the world of soccer. Let's narrow it down. Let's schedule these a little better so players aren't having to leave their MLS games to go play in their Euros and Copa America games. It's ridiculous. We're moving on. My yellow topic of the week, or my on the fence topic, is the Golden State Warriors. And part of me isn't sure if it's happy or sad. I'm not a Warriors guy. I didn't love the Warriors dynasty. I'm not the biggest Steve Kerr fan. I'm okay with Steph Curry and Clay and Draymond. Watching them win, 70-some games that season was exciting. Watching them continually compete is exciting. But all good things must come to an end. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The Chiefs, if we want to take an NFL example, are a very dominant team. And I want nothing more than for them to break up a little bit and start sharing the wealth. Let's see if Patrick Mahomes can play as good as he's playing in Kansas City under new leadership in a different offensive system with another team. That's what I dream about, okay? I know Clay is going to be able to go to Dallas and shoot the three no matter what. I know Chris Paul at age 65 or however old he is, applying for Medicare. He's got the AARP mailers coming in every other day. He's going to go play with Wemby, and he's going to get 10 assists a game. It's not going to matter, right? Can Patrick Mahomes do that? And that's not the topic today. The topic today is the Golden State Warriors, all right? So enter Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and DeAnthony Melton. These are all guys they've signed this offseason, and they're not flashy guys. It's kind of like you have a poor man's Klay Thompson in Buddy Hield. You have a poor man's Andrew Wiggins, which you already have on your team, in Kyle Anderson. And then you have a poor man's Chris Paul and Anthony Melton. That's not quite the most apt comparison, but it just feels like they've replaced some of these big names with some of their, C-list celebrity clone lookalikes, play-alikes. So I'm interested to see how this all works and how Steph Curry, the figurehead of the Warriors, continues his career and ultimately ends his career probably in Golden State. And see how competitive they are. So obviously things weren't working. The Warriors, forgive me, I don't think they made the playoffs. And if they did, they didn't make it very far. I should know that, and I don't. You can correct me in the comments. But they were not as dominant this year. And yes, they had injuries. Yes, Draymond was suspended. The list goes on. But I guess it was time to break up the band, and we'll see what happens in the near future. My green topic of the week, or something that impressed me this week, is Jasmine Paolini. A lot of you probably have never heard of her. She is an Italian tennis player who I have been impressed with. I only really follow tennis majors. So, the sport of tennis has like 4 Super Bowls a year. If you are not familiar with it, they have the Australian Open, the French Open, now called the Roland Garros, the Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. And those are kind of like the 4 major events, like golf has 4 majors. And Jasmine Paolini, I watched her play in the finals of the French Open to Iga Swiatek, and she got destroyed. And rightly so. Iga is the best tennis player on earth, female tennis player on earth. And that's another thing about tennis. If I'm going to be rude about soccer having too many leagues, I understand that tennis has too many leagues, but I also think tennis has too many dominant players. It's just like you got Joker, you got Carlos Alcaraz, you had Federer for a while, and now on the girls' side you have, Swiatek, Sabalenka, Ons Jabeur, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but you just kind of have the same people dominating, which is very interesting to me. So part of the reason why she's on green is because she is really starting to make a name for herself and starting to compete at a high level and seemingly out of nowhere. So this is a woman who has been in Major League Tennis, the Women's Tennis Association since 2019, played in the French Open, didn't make it past the first round. In fact, if you look at all of her tennis majors, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, the best she's ever done in those 5 years is make it to the second round 4 times. The other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10 to 12 times, she didn't win a game. Okay? And then this year at the Australian Open, she makes it to the round of 16, okay, semifinals, quarterfinals. She goes to the French Open finals, and then this morning she advanced to the 4th round of Wimbledon. Okay, so she's on her way to possibly another big performance at Wimbledon and at a tennis major. So shout out to Jasmine Paolini. Keep your eye on her. Maybe this is a name that you will hear in the coming years, and you'll say, Green Means Go taught me about her, introduced me to her. It's a beautiful thing for the 50 of you who come by every week and watch this. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. We'll be back next week to talk about more sports news. But in the meantime, watch my other videos and love somebody dearly today.